Hey guys, this week we're getting into the sneaky world of spies. Stick with us. Yeah, you like that? You like the sneaky?
I
We're
do.
sneaky. Stick with us as we talk about this and so much more on this week's episode of Concentrated. Hey guys, welcome to Concentrated, the podcast about all of the things that we find cool and interesting as nerds of color. I'm your host, Maria, and I am joined by the lovely Manera
Hi.
and Snacky McSnackerson over there, the chiptastic Eric.
The proper name would be Snacky Onassis. I've taken on my maiden name
Your maiden name?
since my husband was assassinated.
Oh my gosh.
Those Carolina barbecue chips were good. I got
Oh,
them in before you started, so I wasn't
you
crunching on the
did, you
mic.
did. Fair
Yeah.
enough. All right. Well, today we're going to be talking, like I said earlier, spy shit. What makes a good spy? Who are some of our favorites? What are the best spy movies? We're going to get into all of that, but before we do that, it is time for Eric to do the news.
Bum, 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 bum.
Ba-da-doo,
You got to be off key,
ba-da-doo.
or else it'll get flagged by YouTube.
Oh
Were we
damn.
not? Or
That's not how off key
Nah,
works.
no,
You
is
just
that not
change the
gonna work
sound.
either?
You just went to
we
chicken
were we were
sounds.
we
Oh.
were way too close. Do the news, Eric.
All right, I got a couple of deaths. One sad, one not so sad. First up, I'm going to do the not so sad one. It's conservative politics and commentator Rush Limbaugh. He's dead at 70 of lung cancer. I hope he burns in hell, if there is
Same.
a hell.
Bye.
Whoop whoop!
You
Enjoy the
stayed a little
fires,
too
you
long.
dead
And by
bitch.
a little too, I mean you were born. Bye.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, fuck it. I'm not gonna be
Right.
nice
No,
politically.
fuck that
No,
guy.
fuck that guy.
I hope
All
someone
right.
steals his Congressional Medal of Honor and pawns that bitch and buys
Same.
some sweet crack.
Mm.
Wow. All right.
Yeah,
Next
fuck
death.
that guy. Next set is actually sad because I enjoy him and I enjoyed his music. We're talking Prince Marky D of the Fat Boys. He is dead at 58. If you're one of those people who's like, which one was Prince Marky D? He was the light skinned one.
Yeah.
It's the easiest
Uh,
way to remember him. That's
Yeah,
sad.
no cause of death, and it's a little unfortunate because I know he was recently getting in better shape.
I would say, are you
Um,
sure? Because I thought I had seen that they came out like late yesterday, maybe early today, and said it was like is it not like
con-
congenial heart failure
congestive
or
heart failure.
yeah, congestive heart
It
failure.
might
There
be.
you
Like I
go.
said, I have this in my notes from earlier in the week. I think it was Thursday or Friday when I first got the news. So it might have come out since then. But when I originally looked at it, they didn't have a cause of death.
It's like
That's
all of the characters from our childhood, right? They're
sad.
just all of the
Yeah.
famous people.
Oh, okay. Actually, I'm looking at it. Yeah, he had heart issues according to his manager and needed a heart procedure before his death. But apparently, it caught up with him.
Damn.
Yikes.
He had recently, he lost a good bit of weight. I know. I can never remember the other one. The one that's still alive. He got in really good shape from the Fat Boys. But as a fat boy myself, I've always enjoyed the Fat Boys. Even their very bad movie Disorderlies, which is amazingly bad.
I
I
would say I
have
love
I have
Disorderlies.
several of their records on vinyl. Which if you can find them on vinyl, because they don't repress them, you got to find them old and used. But
Yeah.
oh, so good. So that one makes me a little sad.
Yeah.
There's only one Fat Boy left. Plus, not just the Fat Boys. He was the producer on a lot of stuff. Whitney
Mhm.
Houston. He worked with Prince. He worked with a lot of up and coming artists.
Yeah,
So.
he definitely had it still a very successful career behind the scenes, like after being in that limelight.
Yeah, and also if you want a treat, look up the Viceland show Party Legends. He does a story in there about going to Eddie Murphy's house back in the early '80s when Eddie Murphy was in his super prime, and there's an exchange between Bobby Brown and Arsenio Hall, and it's chef's kiss wildness for a party.
Oh.
Yeah, so look that up if you want a treat. Moving along, I guess we got something I'm gonna call Scumbag Corner. So I got some
Mm.
scumbag news. You guys want some scumbag news?
Scumbag
Ugh.
news, scumbag news. Yes. Go ahead.
Scumbag news. I hope you get punched in the balls.
Ooh, okay.
Yep. That's the song. Maria, work it up. Do something. I don't know
All
how
right,
it works, but
yeah,
yeah.
we'll make that. We'll make that happen.
All right. First up, Brett Radner. If you don't know that name, good for you. He's terrible. He directed such things as X-Men: The Last Stand, which is the third one. The first time they tried the Dark Phoenix story, terrible.
Mhm.
Um, he also did that really bad rock movie, Hercules. Not to be confused with
Mm.
the other really bad Hercules movie that came out, I believe, the same year or maybe a year after. He was a target, not a target, but um, allegations against him for sexual misconduct were brought up in 2014,
Mhm.
2015, sorry, and he has not worked since. Oh, I'm sorry, 2017. And a lot of people, including Olivia Munn and Natasha Henstridge, accused him of sexual harassment and misconduct. And Warner Brothers apparently cut ties with him at that point. But apparently, give it 2 to 2.5 years and you're all
Right,
good. So
right.
he is back and he is making a new film, which is he describes as a passion project about R&B duo Milli Vanilli. So um,
This is
one,
all
why Milli Vanilli?
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Why Milli
Yeah.
Vanilli? And who is giving him money to do this? Who wants this?
Is it
Oh,
VH1?
well, it would be produced by Millennium Entertainment or Millennium Media and his own Rat Pack Entertainment Corporation. Or
oh, so he's paying for it. All right.
Mm.
yeah,
Well, I hope it burns.
he's got a good amount of money. He's directed some big budget things. Um, None of them great, honestly, but
But Behind the Music did this. They did the Milli Vanilli story,
Yes,
and
they
I
did.
watched
did
it,
they?
and it was great. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Was it like a dramatization? Because I remember like the ones where
No.
they actually get it. Didn't one of them die?
Yes. No.
Hmm.
The Behind the Music was talked to them and their rise and fall. I watched Behind the Music. I loved
Yeah.
Yeah.
Behind the Music.
Well, I think this
We
is
don't
more
need
of
this.
a dramatization biopic because biopics are big.
I don't need like,
All
but
right.
why are you going to dramatize it when I know the backstory from those hair mops? Like I
It's
got it
this,
from them.
it's the same thing with any
Hair
dramatization. Like
mops,
you,
though.
They were lovely. They were lovely men, but their hair looked like mops. Yeah. No?
um, yeah,
I got
no,
nothing.
I mean
I
Okay.
got
this
nothing.
is this is all from the same guy who did all three Rush Hour movies. Um, yeah, he did the Eddie Murphy Tower Heist movie with Ben Stiller.
I love
All
that
I'm
your
gonna.
nose went just a little, like your nostril flared just a little bit when you were like trying to find. You're like, mm.
Okay, look. Let's
If
just make
if
it
you
real
want to
simple.
enjoy him even less, he also did the very bad Hannibal Lecter movie Red Dragon.
Okay, look. Hopefully, this is what he's trying to relaunch his career with. And if that's the case, I don't think anyone has anything to worry about because it's gonna suck. And he'll, slither off back to wherever scumbags slither to when their, sunlight time is done.
It's a cave
No, I mean he'll
or a
just go
mansion.
behind the scenes and do
I
what
think it's a
scumbags
mansion.
do,
Ugh.
or
All
people
right,
will treat
next
it like it never
story.
happened.
We've given this man like 3 minutes of our time that he does not deserve. Next
Well,
story.
I got some more scumbag news for you, and it depends on how you feel about him.
Maria, you said you wanted to be in scumbag corner.
Yep.
We have to be okay with
Okay,
it.
okay, you're right. You're right. We agreed to this.
Scumbags will lead way to better things. I got better news
Okay.
after we cover
Okay.
this next scumbag. James Franco, also known as brother of Dave Franco, the one who's less scumbaggy.
Baby Franco.
Yeah, baby Franco. Married to Allison Brie from Community
Hmm.
and Glow. Good show.
Mhm.
He had some sexual allegations from 2019,
Hmm.
lawsuits filed by two different women, and they have apparently dropped their suits. So I'm assuming they settled out of court. I don't know why.
Okay,
I'm assuming
I've got
money.
I've got a quick question for you two about this though.
Go ahead.
Like in this day and age, after the Me Too movement and everything else, am I wrong for kind of looking a little sideways at individuals who will bring these lawsuits and you're like, yeah, fight the good fight. We're going to fight it with you. And then they choose to settle out of court instead of seeing it through.
Uh,
I
Like they choose to get, I mean, like Eric already said it, like you choose to get bought out, but like they take the money over the principle of really letting it be known that this person was guilty of doing something.
I always thought of it as they decided that their mental couldn't withstand whatever was going to be thrown at them in court. So, I mean, yes, it's
Yeah.
one thing with bringing it up, but then it's a whole nother hearing what happened to you and then having someone say, well, then, but why didn't you do this thing? And then why didn't you do this thing? But then now, why are you doing this? Well, then why did it take you so long to do that? Picking apart everything that you did after what happened to you. Does
Yeah.
that make
Yeah.
sense?
Well, according to the class action lawsuit, Franco had allegedly forced his students to perform explicit sex acts on camera in what they described as an orgy type setting during a master class he held on sex scenes. According to Franco's attorneys, um, based on the claims in a previous filing, calling them false and inflammatory, legally baseless, and brought on as a class action with the obvious goal of getting as much publicity as possible for attention hungry plaintiffs.
But I don't know why you would need to do that.
I don't know.
I mean, listen, you can play. We could play devil's advocate. I could think of some reasons, but I
To
think he's
have
a
an orgy?
scumbag. Well, no, not the orgy. No, not the orgy. There's never a reason, unless you're into orgies, to have
Orgies,
an orgy.
right.
No. I meant for them to file the lawsuit.
Yeah.
So, but that's potato patata. He's a scumbag. Meh. Keep it moving. What you got next?
Well, I would say allegedly. Like, I think he's a scumbag, but again, legally, allegedly, he's a scumbag. Allegedly.
Mm-hmm. Do we
Uh,
all need those like Jesus and Mary?
Yeah.
Yeah, we might need them.
I don't want to get sued by them.
Yeah. Okay, so I got 3 last stories, and they're quick. First up,
Are we out of scumbag? Are
we are out of
scum
scumbag
corner?
corner.
Thank
Yes,
God.
you can
My
take
God.
that.
I don't like it there.
Now
Take
I can
that
take,
right out of
now I can
scumbag
take my
corner.
hands out of my pockets. I didn't want to touch
Um,
anything in there.
All right, I'm gonna do the worst first because it's not the worst. This is kind of a mixed blessing. Zack Snyder, we all know him, famous of the Snyder Cut. He has a new movie coming out that doesn't have to do with superheroes. It's going back to
Oh.
the things that he's good at. So I don't know if you
Oh.
guys know this. Zack Snyder also directed the remake of the Dawn of the Dead, based on George Romero's Dawn of the Dead, the zombies where the survivors have to go into a mall and hide out. I thought it was really good. A lot of people agree. He upped the ante with fast zombies. Here nor there. He has a new zombie movie coming out called Army of the Dead, featuring people like Tig Notaro and Dave Batista. A lot of big names. Apparently, it is now coming to Netflix,
Okay.
and it'll be on May 21st.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm interested. Like I said, uh, when he's good at something, Zack Snyder is a very good director. He's not a very good writer. Don't let him write movies. And I said the same thing about Patty Jenkins. Great director, terrible writer. Let them do what they're good at. Sometimes you don't need to expand. Sometimes you
Right.
stay in your lane, as the
Yep.
kids say.
Yeah.
Yep. Stay in your lane and just drive real straight.
Yeah,
All right. Well, that's not terrible. I mean, it's not terrible news.
yeah. Like I said,
We'll see.
it all depends on how you feel about Zack Snyder as a director. And I think he is a very competent director when he has someone pointing him in the right direction.
Mhm.
Moving along, we have news that we mentioned it before that the Muppet Show is now on Disney Plus,
Yes.
which is great. The Muppet Show is very old though, so
Yes.
Disney, in their infinite wisdom, sponsor us Disney. We'll take all that money. They decided to, instead of removing episodes, because again the Muppets, they've been out since the 70s and 80s and whatnot. They have placed warnings ahead of some episodes that from the classic show that might be insensitive in today's eyes. So things dealing with race and gender and things like that. So they will now be
Okay.
prefaced with a warning before you watch them. So if you want to show these to your kids, or if you just forgot about these episodes and you're going back in as an adult, you have that context. You can tell your kids before, like, hey, there's a joke about this, and this is why we don't say those things, and it was a different time. Again, saying that it was a different time is not an excuse, but you can at least try to make it make sense, as
Or
opposed
say
to
they joke. We used to joke about this, but now we know that that's not okay, and
Yeah,
you know
it was
that
it was
that's not okay,
insensitive.
right? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then just keep it
And this is
moving.
why you shouldn't joke about this.
Right.
But again,
Right.
different time, written by less sensitive people. But so I think that's a good thing. And I know they've done it in the past with things like Dumbo. Certain scenes that I don't know if did they cut out the crows scenes.
I haven't been back because my DVD copy of it has the crows in there.
So you just stay on the DVD?
I know
I
that they've
mean,
done this with other things. Did they do it in the what's her name? Not
No, they
101
don't do it in
Dalmatians.
the. They
In
didn't.
I'm
what?
Oh, you're
talking about the
talking about.
Siamese cats. Is that
Oh,
Oh,
Lady and the
and the
Tramp?
new Lady the Tramp,
The
it's
Tramp.
not there.
It's not in Lady New.
No, no,
It's
in the
not in the new
original.
Lady and Tramp. I have not watched the original.
Okay, because I know
Um,
that's on Disney Plus as well, so we might
Yeah.
have to jump into
now,
those and
yeah,
see.
we might have to go
I'm
check.
assuming they probably
I
have the same
don't
warning.
know if they've taken it out or if they've just done the disclaimer.
I feel like it's probably easier to do the disclaimer, but
I
it
hope
depends
they do
on.
the
Yeah.
disclaimer.
Yeah, again, I don't think you should censor the past, but you do have to give it context.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All right, and then finally moving along to our last bit of good news, and this is good news if you have been following our other show, Cup and Saucer, where we are currently talking about Gangs of London, which I love. It is extremely violent, but it is brought to us by director Gareth Evans. Gareth Evans, I'm going to call him friend of the show because if he ever wanted to come on here, we give him a space. Come talk your shit, Gareth. He also directed the Raid movies, the Raid 1 and 2. He directed Apostle. If you ever watched it on Netflix, it has the guy from Legion. I forget his name. He was
Why
also
does
in
it
Beauty and
sound
the Beast.
familiar? What was that about?
It takes place in like old times. It's about religion and monsters, but much like everything that he does, it has some crazy wild violence.
Huh.
Yeah,
I don't think I
I want to
watched
say
that, but
Dan
I might.
Stevens. Is that his name from
Um
Legion and
yes,
Beauty and the
from
Beast? He was Beast.
and also he can be friend of the show because he is from Downton Abbey.
Yep,
He is Matthew, cousin Matthew.
he was also in Fargo, one of the seasons of Fargo.
Mm.
Yeah, he has a new movie coming out that he just announced, and he has apparently cast. It's going to be called Havoc, and it's going to be a Netflix action thriller. He cast one of you two's favorite people, Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy
He's
will
not our
lead this
favorite
movie.
person. He is our boyfriend. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Yes.
The
I
internet's
need you to
own
get that
boyfriend,
right.
Tom Hardy. Yes,
Hey,
he
boo.
will be in this film Havoc with directed by Gareth Evans.
He is a friend of the show.
Yep.
Or at least parts of the show.
Mhm.
Anyway,
He'll also be he'll Hardy himself will also be producing on the movie, so that's good.
nice.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
was wondering what he was doing.
Well, remember he's been busy with Venom 2. Like they've wrapped.
Oh,
Oh, have
really?
Yeah,
okay.
they wrapped a while back. They were supposed to be dropping a trailer soon, but I think they're trying to work out when they're actually going to release it now because of COVID. It was
Mm.
supposed to come out, I think, towards the end of last year, but again, everything got pushed.
Huh.
And because it's
Well,
Sony, like remember they pushed Morbius as well. Morbius was supposed to come out
yeah.
last summer.
Mhm.
Well, Eric, if you're done with the news, that is an excellent segue to starting this episode because part of what brought this on was the fact that we are waiting again for Black Widow to finally be released. And while we're waiting, we got to thinking like
I was
there
like,
were
not
a
just
lot.
as far as spies, not just Black Widow, James
Yeah.
Bond as well.
Yeah, that's right. We're never going to see that movie. That movie's it's never coming out.
By the time we
Um,
see it, fucking Daniel Craig will be dead
right.
because we
That
all know
that
he is
is
87 years old.
He's not 87 years old. Is he? He's
okay.
not.
He
No.
totally is.
He's not a spring chick, but it got us to thinking. We love spy movies. It's a genre that seems to be able to stand the test of time, even though not all of them are winners, right?
He's 52, guys.
Oh my gosh, look, he's old. Daniel Craig is old, and I'm moving on. We wanted to look a little further just into the spy genre, and you know, maybe share some of our thoughts along the way about what the answers to these questions are. Like, you know, first, let's start from the beginning. What makes a good spy movie? So I think I'm going to start with you, Eric, because I feel like last week I started with Manira a whole lot. In your opinion, what makes a good spy movie?
I'm okay. I might be the wrong person for this genre. I love spy movies, but I think I also enjoy when spy movies they kind of take the piss out of it. So I
Mm.
enjoy things like the original Casino Royale with Peter Sellers, and I
Mhm.
enjoy the Leslie Nielsen Spy Hard and movies like
Mhm.
that. When it comes to actual spy movies, I'm not a huge fan of the cheesy ones. Certain James Bond. I am one of the people who do not like the Roger Moore James Bond movies. And I
Mm.
know that's blasphemy in some circles because at some point in the 70s and 80s, people were like, yeah, sure, let's give everybody lasers. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of
Mm-hmm.
those fans. I do enjoy realistic spy movies, something like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I had a list and now I lost it, but I enjoy the newer James Bond movies. Like Casino Royale, in my
Mhm.
opinion, is probably the best James Bond movie out of the 25 that they have. Haven't seen the new one. I would put it in my top 5 for James Bond movies.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, Manira, I feel like you are going to have a very different opinion here. So, for you, what makes a good? Well, first off, do you enjoy spy movies, and what makes a good one for you?
I'm a spy whore. I love a good spy movie.
That's a terrible title.
I
You might
do.
want to
I
rethink
love
Wow.
that.
listen, I do. I love just about all spy movies. There are like a few that after I watch it, I'm like, well, I won't be watching that again. And that's only because I didn't buy it in the sense of I didn't buy the spy or the I didn't buy the MacGuffin, if that makes sense. But
Mhm.
for the most part, I will watch a spy movie because I enjoy that spy shit. Like
I
people,
like
and
them.
especially
Like
it's like
you leave there ready to like go down into Virginia, go through the first training at Quantico and shit.
always. I know that I can't really be a good spy because when I know something, I
You
kind of
tell
just
everybody
like I know
because
it. So
you're the queen of spoilers,
I am.
and nothing
Yeah, you
says
would be a
spoiler like
horrible
I would.
international
spy.
secrets.
I would. I would like to be what I'd like to be is like a sleeper cell. That would be good. And just be, activated. That would be
Like a
fantastic.
robot type,
Not like a robot
or
type, but
like a Manchurian candidate.
yeah, like Winter Soldier, like
Yeah.
just going about my day, and then these three words said in an order, all of a sudden I'm a completely different person and I'm a
See,
spy.
Winter Soldier, I feel like is my favorite type of spy movie.
Mm,
it is realistic, but at the same time
hmm
realistic in the form of a superhero movie. So again, that's why when we've talked about Marvel movies, Winter Soldier is my number one above
Yeah,
all else.
Okay.
I love it all. I any and all.
I kind of like
I
the
get it.
cheesier ones. Like
Hmm
I like realistic spy movies, but I like things like Kingsman and
hmm
God, what was the one from the
All right.
'90s that
Well, I would
was?
say, well, wait a second,
We right, we're not
because
there yet.
All right, all
yeah,
right.
we're not. You're getting to start spouting out movies, and I would really wanted to focus on the what and the why. So, and I think we hit a little bit of that. Like Eric, for you, it's like you want something that's realistic that you could see somebody who was well trained doing, but you also
I,
like the super
yeah,
cheesy
I want it
ones.
either or. I don't want to be anywhere in the middle. I want it either super realistic or super dumb.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Mm-mm.
And Manira, you want to feel like you are actually going along with them, like
hmm
spying it up, doing the spy stuff.
Whether it's silly like us on the floor like spinning around or something like that. Yeah, I want all of that. I want a good I also want like a really good technology to go with it. Like if there's something like this that I can turn into a gun or something like that, I would
Like a
really
Mission
enjoy that as
Impossible,
well.
James Bond
Yeah.
type.
Oh,
See,
yes, when we
but
get
see
to it.
that's
Yeah.
but see that's the thing, because like for me, I think that what makes the best spy movie
Mhm.
are the ones that have very strong dialogue,
Mm.
because it's like you're sitting there, you're hanging on every word, you're thinking about what's being said. It's Eric mentioned Casino Royale. Like I that was one of the things that I thought that movie was very strong in, is that there was this really good dialogue, and you felt like you couldn't like look away because you might miss something that they
Mhm.
need as a clue to do something else.
Mhm.
That's what makes a good spy movie for me, whether it's a cheesy one or it's a more realistic one. The story has to make sense, and I want a lot of dialogue to feel like I am engaged with you and trying to figure out how we're gonna not have the nuclear bomb go off or whatever
Mhm.
it is. Eric, you agree with that? Is that
A little bit, but I feel
okay?
like you're discounting the dialogue of the late great Leslie Nielsen in Spy
Nielsen.
Hard.
No, no, no. I mean, but no, listen, but that is my point. Like, if you don't have those good like one-liners and just like
Mhm.
the ridiculous things that I can definitely enjoy much more now as an adult than I did when I was like a kid and saw like my first Leslie Nielsen movie,
Mhm.
like the dialogue mattered. So if you've got, you know, somebody like Zack Snyder, I don't know, writing the
Madam.
script for a spy movie, it's going to be terrible because he's not a good writer. But,
Mhm.
a very well written script, regardless of whether it's a comedy or a spoof or not, I think makes all of the difference in these movies.
I kind of like a a spoof spy movie, but like not so much like overly like I was bringing this up to someone the other day about that period in the early 2000s where like every other movie was a spoof movie for some reason
Mhm.
Hmm.
because
Mhm.
Scary Movie hit so hard at the box office. And I fucking hated those, but I enjoy it when it's like Spy Hard,
Mhm.
um, or the Richard Grieco one, If Looks Could Kill, where it felt like James Bond Jr., but it was really like I feel like it was meant to be James Bond Jr. and they couldn't get the James Bond license. So they were like, well, we'll make our own James Bond.
Right.
Also, there
Yeah,
was a James
no,
Bond Jr. cartoon. It was terrible.
it was really bad. No, I was gonna try to say something nice, but it was just
James
there's nothing
Bond
nice to
Jr. It
say.
did have a cool theme song. I'll give him that.
That's about it.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we've kind of talked a little bit about what we look for in a good spy movie, um, what are some of your favorites that you feel like you can sit down, watch over and over again, not be bored? And Eric, since you were just ready to like word vomit movies at us, I'm going to start with you. What are some of your favorite spy movies?
The problem is most of my favorites don't have sequels, or if they do, they feel like completely different movies. Like I love the Mission Impossible franchise.
Mhm.
Love the first one. The second one is cuckoo banana pants. Like someone told John Woo, like just do whatever you want, John, and he did.
Mhm.
Um, and then after the third one, they were like, "We got to get this back on track because there's money to be made in these movies." And they've gone to like a more serious like tone and like between seriousness and the fourth one, which I love, Ghost Protocol, directed by Brad Bird, who also did The Incredibles and The Iron Giant, one of my favorite movies, is amazing because I feel like he got the blend of seriousness to the weird technology to the crazy stunts that Tom Cruise continues to keep doing, and they've just gotten better since then. Maria is making that face because she clearly hates the Mission Impossible movies because she
Madam,
hates fun.
they're so great though.
Yeah, they
Uh,
are.
I was
Don't
all
look
on
at my
board for the
list.
first one. No, no, seriously. Like I was all on board for the first one. The second one is when it started going off the rails.
Have
And
you
then
been back since then?
I
The
have not.
the
I
third one
need
is a
to.
Oh.
blend. Like the third
Ugh.
one, they were like, we gotta tighten this shit up. Bring
No,
us
but you
some
know
real
what?
people. Get us Lawrence
No,
Fishburne. Get
but
us
you know
Jim
what
Caviezel.
happened? For me, I think the biggest problem was the fact that, well, Tom Cruise is fucking bonkers, and I kind of
He
don't like him
is.
in general as a
He's
human
also like
being or an
5'3".
actor.
He
Right.
is.
So it's like if you were to give me the exact same Mission Impossible movies with a completely different lead, I probably wouldn't hate them.
I love Ethan though.
Yeah, I think that
No, no,
those are
it
his.
can be Ethan. Just have someone else playing Ethan.
Those are going to be his crowning
Ugh.
jewels. Like when he dies,
Yeah.
that's going to be what everybody talks about. Because you know what? I would take 5 more Mission Impossible movies over another fucking Top Gun. I don't
I
need
low
another
key
Top
think
Gun.
he's going to die on this set of Mission Impossible.
Oh, that would be the perfect way for him to die.
I know.
I'm
I do. I think he's
yeah.
going to die on one, and you'll love it.
Y'all morbid motherfuckers.
Why?
Have
He
you
does
seen
all
the
of
shit
his
that he
own
does?
stunts.
Okay, he literally produces these movies so that he can get around the insurance issues with him like doing these crazy stunts.
Mhm.
Also, he gets some money on the back end on that, I believe. So
Ugh. All
he's
right.
just.
Mhm.
I would also say a little known favorite that came out a few years ago and like no one saw it and it was really fucking good. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. by Guy Ritchie.
That
I
was on
saw
my
it.
list. I would
Yeah,
say that was
we
like
saw it in the
that's like
theaters.
top. Yeah, that's like top 5 for me. I love that movie.
Weird ass Army Hammer doing a Russian accent
Mhm.
It
is
was
great,
great.
It was
honestly.
It's so
beautiful.
great.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Another one on my list, Atomic Blonde.
Yes,
Charlize
get
Atomic
out
Theron.
of my
Blonde is very
list.
good.
Get out of my list.
It's my list, better than your list. I enjoy the Bourne movies, the first 3, and Jason Bourne. The one with Hawkeye, not so much. Like you can, if you're watching them on a fucking marathon, just skip that one. Act like it never
I was
happened.
going to
Yeah.
tell Maria, don't come back for Mission Impossible because the thumb is here. Like he's
I was gonna
he's in the
say,
group.
thumbs
He's-
can't be spies.
He's
Why
only
has
in a
no one
few of
figured
them.
this
Like
out?
he came in Ghost Protocol, and I think he was supposed to have a bigger role, and then they were just like, he got busy doing other shit, and they were like, oh well, if you're not into it, we're gonna put you in little roles, and if you want to come back at some point, because at a point it was like, oh, he's gonna be the new Ethan Hunt,
Mhm.
and then apparently Tom Cruise was like, nah, I'm
No,
still
he is
kicking,
not. Get
I'm
this
still
little
doing this
guy out of
shit.
here. Only one little guy.
Yeah. I also really love it's a spy movie but less known, the Robert De Niro movie Ronin. Have you ever seen that?
Ronan
Mhm.
is very,
Ronin
very
is
good.
real fucking good.
Yeah, yeah.
Get the fuck out of here and get out of my list.
Did you have that
do
on
you
your
have any-
list?
Yes. I told
Alright.
you I like all spy movies.
All right. Well, how about I give you one that's probably not on your list and is on the goofier side? The Melissa McCarthy movie Spy.
Yes, no, I love that
That's
movie
on your
too. It's
list?
not on my list, but I
Oh,
love that
okay.
movie.
I was gonna say, I love Jason Statham in that movie. He is ridiculous, and he doesn't get to play comedy very often, and
he's
it's
so
a
good
shame
at
because
it.
he's really funny.
I
Like
like
he
when
Yeah,
does
she
the
yeah.
straight
tones
man
down,
role really
like when she
well.
kind of tones down her comedy just a little bit.
Yeah,
I that's her sweet spot.
yeah.
All right.
Oh, and then I had one more that is technically a spy movie because he plays a spy. Don't come for me. True Lies.
No, oh my God, what are you
No,
talking about?
no
Okay.
True
True
Lies is
Lies.
definitely
And
yeah.
if
You
we
get
want
no
to,
hate over
if you give
here.
me one more that's technically two, I'm talking the OG, the MVP of the James Bond movies, especially the last 20 years, 25 years, because I believe GoldenEye came out in '94. I'm talking Martin Campbell, who directed He directed GoldenEye, but then he came back and did the another reboot. He directed Casino Royale with Daniel Craig. Those are
Did he?
my two favorite James Bond movies.
Yeah.
Martin
Okay.
Campbell's the OG, so he gets a pass for me for also directing Green Lantern.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
They're not
Yeah,
all
well,
winners, but like I said, he
They're
gets a
not
pass
all
for me.
bangers.
it's
He's
part of
still
the
invited to the
process.
barbecue, in my
Yeah, I'm
opinion.
gonna say yes. It's part of the creative process. All right. So, Manir, were there any movies that Eric didn't mention
And of course,
on your
Kingsman.
list? Okay.
There are, and I thought that he was going to say some of them, but he didn't. First
Oh,
and
I could go
foremost,
for days if you.
I love Debs. Little known, you don't love Debs? Get out of
I
here.
don't
It's
love
so
Debs.
fucking good. Girl spies, lesbianism, and then it's just spy. No, no,
It wasn't for
nobody.
me.
There's some people that are gonna be like, yes, we get you,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm
Debs,
sure
Listen,
because
yes.
it definitely
listen.
is an underground favorite. I know that it's
Yeah.
become a cult
Yes.
classic.
And it's like the soundtrack was just amazing. North by
It's definitely one of
Northwest.
those movies that's like a product of its time.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. As an Alfred Hitchcock girl, North by Northwest is
Ooh, that's a good one.
really good and deep and close to my heart. Um, I also really enjoy shit. Why did I have a brain fart? Because I was saying it when you were saying Long Kiss Goodnight.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a
Yeah,
good one. Yeah, that's a
Yes.
very good one.
Samuel L. Jackson
I
makes that
enjoy
fucking
Gina
movie.
Davis with that, really good and
Mm-hmm.
tough jaw. She is a man's man and I enjoy her immensely.
Stop it! Don't do that to Gina. I love her.
No, no,
No, it.
no. I say that with all the love in the world. I say
I
that
feel
with
like
all the
that
love
movie
in the
couldn't
world.
work with anyone but her and Samuel L. Jackson. They make an amazing duo, and I'm so
Mhm.
sad they've never made more movies together.
Yes, no,
Yeah.
they were very lovely together. I also enjoy Get Smart. I think that was
That was almost on my list.
it's very good. Like it okay, Steve Carell at a certain point after The Office was like, I'm going to do these movies and
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be a little bit off, but they're all going to be kind of the same. And Get Smart was just a sweet spot for everyone that was in it. It was a sweet spot for Anne Hathaway. It was a sweet spot
Mm-hmm.
for The Rock was in it. Was he
Yeah,
not?
he ended up
Yes.
being the bad guy. Spoilers.
Yes, it was just everyone that was in it. It was a very good and just well done, and I
It was also
really
that weird
really appreciated
transitional
it.
time for The Rock, like right when he was right after like what was it, the Tooth Fairy, the one where he's like or was it the one where he
Was it
has
the
like the
game plan or was
daughter,
it the tooth
the
fairy?
game plan, yeah,
Okay.
where
Yes.
he went from like being really good shape to like super
Mhm.
hulking monster Rock, and we
Mhm.
realized, oh, The Rock can do comedy.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed that immensely. A little bit on the child side, and I don't know if I feel like Eric will know this, but I don't know if Maria knows this. You have kids, but I don't think you would. Hoodwinked? Did you ever see that?
I saw the first one. I didn't see the second one because I heard it was fucking terrible.
I didn't watch we're not talking about the second one. We're purely talking about the first one.
Yeah, the
Fan
first one
fucking tastic.
it is way smarter than it should be for a kids
It
movie.
really is. Like you think that you're sitting down to watch a kids show, to watch a kids movie, and no. I mean, yeah, no, it's
I think Anne
animated,
Hathaway
but
is in that too.
well, I mean, Princess Mia. I love
Yeah.
me some Princess Mia.
Let's say she's in everything, so there's that.
All right, well, don't do
It
that. That's
looks
not very
terrible
nice.
when you watch
I
it
love
today,
her.
though. Like, if
Well,
you've gone back and watched Hoodwinked, like as a CG movie, it looks fucking awful.
Mm.
I'm not really. I mean, I don't. And I also really enjoy the Manchurian Candidate because
Mhm.
Original or
so
the remake or
Right,
both?
I was getting ready to ask.
both.
Yeah, it's because
Both.
the remake is actually really good.
Yeah,
The
Mm-hmm.
original is what, Sinatra, if I remember correctly.
I think so.
I feel like you
Gonna-
guys have left a very
So.
important movie off your list. I'm very sad about this because I think both of you have great lists. But
Yeah,
how
the
to
original
Kill
was
What?
Sinatra.
How did no one mention Spy Kids?
I
How?
had it on
Madam.
my list,
How?
but I
Madam.
didn't.
Spy Kids
Madam.
is amazing.
Yeah, I thought about Spy
They're
Kids
kids
because,
who are being spies to
Spies.
save their spy parents. It's amazing. What's wrong with y'all?
well, also like as far as representation, it was the first like kids
Yeah.
movie that made a shitload of money where the
Yeah.
entire family was Latino. It wasn't like
Mhm.
Yeah.
one of those things. Well,
No, they all
Carla
were.
Gugino is Spanish, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
If I remember correctly, the entire cast was Latino because that was one of the big deals about it.
yeah, and it was one of Danny Trejo's first kids movies where he went
Mhm.
from being terrifying, which he still is. Like Danny Trejo is terrifying as an old man, even though he apparently is very nice and has his own vegan taco truck that he drives
He is
around.
the nicest guy ever,
Yeah,
apparently.
but I feel like if something were to go wrong, he would still stab me. That man went to prison.
He
There's
did.
that,
It
there's
didn't. You don't have to say it like that, though.
Yeah,
No,
I think though
he's still
'cause
terrifying.
like neither one of you really got into the Bonds, and that's okay. Like I do love James Bond.
I feel like that
I
was like that's a cop out though. Not
Yeah.
for you. No,
No,
not for you.
I feel like Bond is
Not-
too
not for
easy.
you.
Like
Yeah.
I'd mentioned
No,
my
no, I
favorite
agree.
two.
Well, that's okay, because that's what I wanted to go back to because you mentioned those two, and I actually agree with you as well. They're definitely on my favorites list. But I also really like From Russia with Love.
Mm.
I think that that's one of the best of the older ones.
I feel like it's one of the least offensive when you go back and look at it.
It is also one of the least offensive. It's held
Although
up
I'm
a
sure if
lot
I
better
watch
than
it,
some
if I watch it
others.
again, I'll be like, "Ooh, that's a little racist." Oh wait, there's that classic misogyny. But at
What?
least he's not doing yellow face for half the movie.
I said, what? You don't think that Octopussy tracks in 2021? No.
Totally.
I mean,
It's not tracking.
it's not tracking. All right. So I know we're kind of talking about movies per se,
Mhm.
and we don't necessarily like picking favorites because we've got a ton of favorites and everything.
Mhm.
But I feel like we kind of have to. So who are your favorite spies? Like not spy movies. Like, but are there specific spy characters either in movies, in books, whatever that you eat up?
I've already said
Did you?
I love Ethan.
Oh,
Oh, oh. Can we even really? Well, I guess he is actually a spy. I'm
He's a
just.
spy.
How are we friends? How? Ugh.
Sorry, not sorry. I love Ethan.
I was gonna say I have a like it's a character, but also the same actor who's very good at playing these type of characters. I will say ahead of time, I enjoy some of the Jack Ryan stuff. Like I like the Harrison Ford Jack Ryan. I like the
Okay.
Alec Baldwin Jack Ryan. I haven't been exposed enough to the John Krasinski Jack Ryan. Did not like the
liked
Chris Pine Jack Ryan.
Oh, I love the Chris Pine Jack Ryan.
Nope. You went out there to swing it, and I was like, nope, put that shit down.
All right.
Nope, put it down. None of that shit in here.
He can come over here with Ethan. It's fine. Two big-headed men. It's fine. What? They
See,
both have
funny
big heads. What?
They do. Funny enough, and I don't know, Eric. I doubt it actually because I don't know. We're not getting another Kingsman, are we?
Yes, remember the King's
Yeah,
Man
it's-
is supposed to be
it's
coming
waiting.
out.
It's
It's
just
been
sitting.
delayed.
Yeah.
It got
but
COVID
it's
pushed.
It's from before, and I was gonna say I actually love Eggsy. I love him.
Yeah, I feel like Eggsy is a good balance between like James Bond Jr., which I'll keep bringing it up because James Bond Jr., but also he's like a mixture of that character and Richard Grieco's character from If Looks Could Kill.
Yep.
And I don't want to be like, oh, he's the modern James Bond, but he is kind of the modern James Bond.
Well, but the other thing too, it's like there's that snippiness and wittiness it's not dry. Like, James Bond always has like some little line, and your boy Ethan always has some little smart quip or whatever, but it doesn't hit like in a way that makes you go ha ha. And I feel like with Eggsy, like he's got that, like the way that his role has been written, like he's funny when he's, trying to be funny, right? But like not like you're laughing at him because it's like, oh, whatever. But like he's legit trying to be funny, and it is funny. So I like that about that character as well. It's
I think a lot
not
of
what
that
you
is the
expect.
actor as well. Like he's just a
Mhm.
really good actor.
I
Yeah.
also like Lorraine from Atomic Blonde. Charlize Theron. I'm a big
Mhm.
Charlize fan, and I
Yeah.
really wanted a series of Atomic Blonde. It was just entirely too good for it to just be one
One movie.
one movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
I it
Hopefully they
just
don't do
yeah.
like they're doing with Mad Max and just recasting a younger version. And it's like, Charlize is in for it. Like she did all like a lot of her action for the Old Guard, which wasn't a great movie, but it had a lot of really good action.
But she's badass. I
I
mean,
Yeah.
the
didn't
bottom
mind
line
the
is
old.
she's badass.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. I actually want to sit down and watch it. Just
She does
The
really good
acting
action.
from the black girl was she can't do action
Oh, the Old
acting.
Guard? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about what's the name? Atomic Blonde. I was like, wait, I
No,
remember
no, no.
her and
Everyone in Atomic Blonde did really
yeah.
well.
James
The
McAvoy is great as a creepy little creep. I
yes,
Oh,
love it.
he's great in everything,
Yeah.
honestly.
he
But
is.
I
actually, I
was like,
wonder if he'll ever do like something as a spy lead.
I feel like he
That'd be interesting.
has.
Has he?
I don't
I
know.
can't. I can't think of anything.
I was say an MVP of the spy genre would be Robert Redford. Like he did 3 Days of the
Mm.
Condor. He did one of my favorite movies. It's technically not a spy movie. It's technically a hacker movie. Sneakers. If you've never seen
Mm.
Sneakers, check that shit out. It is one of the most realistic hacker movies because also it came out in the 80s when it was like computers. We don't know how to fake this, so we're gonna do it basically
Beep,
real.
boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop.
All right. So, guys, with that, do you guys have any final thoughts for our listeners and viewers just around spy movies and the
Oh, he was
genre
also
in
in
general?
Spy Game, which is also very good.
Oh, Spy Game was good.
Yeah.
All right. I digress though. Question. Any final thoughts or about spy movies, the genre, or even maybe even spy books, anything in general that you want to give our listeners and viewers?
I don't
I
read a lot
say
of
go
spy
into it and
books.
have fun.
Yeah,
Mhm.
don't take them too seriously because
Mm-mm.
most of them are not very realistic. Like
Mm.
outside of like, oh, I'm training to be a badass. Like the things that they do and the technology that they use is very unrealistic. I know they have that series on like YouTube where it's like they get a real spy to break down spy movies.
Yes,
I love
those are so
watching
good.
those, especially like the ones where they break down like how they do disguises and they look at like they watch a movie where somebody like quick changes into a different disguise and they'll break down like the good and the bad about it and I'll remember like, oh yeah, if I ever need to change, I'll take my glasses off, put my hood on, or like flip my shirt inside out or something. I don't know when I'm gonna be running from ninjas or something. Don't give me that look. You're gonna be the one when those ninjas come for you and you're like, oh, what do I do? Oh, they found me.
Me?
Fucking now you got
Me. I'm
shurikens.
gonna be the one.
No, Maria.
Me.
Maria
Oh,
gave me that
Maria,
stupid
yes.
look.
No, Giggles McGee over here, definitely.
Yeah.
But me, no.
Nope. I'll
No.
take this hoodie off, flip it inside out, tie it around my waist.
But can
I'll
you
get a
imagine
hat.
like Eric's in the middle of Third Eye Comics reading, just browsing, and he just notices to the side one of his mortal spy enemies, I guess, and all of a sudden just starts walking through the store all fast, like trying to
Changing
things
clothes,
up.
Yep.
picking up clothes, putting on a hat.
What?
I can think of the aisles that I would need to go through where the toys are because they weave back and forth. Yeah, don't come for me. You'll be the one fucked when they come for you, and you'll be like, oh, how did they know it was me? Because you didn't do shit. You put your hair in a ponytail. Get out of here.
I'm gonna use a scrunchie. It'll completely throw them off.
That definitely, yes. No, a scrunchie will definitely work.
Scrunchie
Yeah.
does it.
They'll be like, oh, we didn't see her on infrared because of that scrunchie.
Duh.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, guys, I guess according to Eric, you can actually learn some things from these movies. So get up your spy skills, I guess.
Just
Yep.
enjoy yourself. Go in there and
learn
enjoy
how to
yourself.
learn how to synchronize a watch. Um, keep a knife or something on you. You never know when you're going to
Always
be
keep a knife
attacked.
on you.
Yeah.
Spy
I
shit.
mean, that's not spy shit. That's
I mean,
good shit. Just
also
keep a knife
Latino
on.
shit. Yeah.
Right.
Some of
What are you
some of
talking
those
about? No one in our
stereotypes are true,
family.
guys.
Oh goodness.
We'll
All
cut you.
right, guys. True. Had to acknowledge it. All right, guys. Well, as always, if you like this episode, please take a couple of seconds, because it doesn't even take minutes. Just take seconds to hit the like button. Rate us. If you're listening to the podcast, make sure that you're dropping a review. Also, you can subscribe to both the podcast and the YouTube channel. We'll take subscriptions on both, please. Tell a friend. Do all of those things.
Leave a comment on YouTube. We read those.
Yes,
Mhm.
definitely read a comment. Yeah, because if you watch one of our other shows, you would know that we will read the comments. So definitely comment. If you've got spy movies to add them to the list. Maybe you've watched something that we haven't. Um,
Doubt
just so
it.
that everybody's
Well, I mean,
yeah. Well,
No,
spy
but we
movies are
want
a
to know.
fucking
Yeah.
dime a dozen. There's
Uh-huh.
tons that I haven't even
there's
seen.
tons of them, and also in
The
fairness,
foreign films.
Yeah,
ooh,
there's
that's
some
yeah.
really good foreign spy movies.
Yeah, and see, you two definitely watch more movies than I do, so I'm sure that maybe not for y'all, but for me, our viewers could definitely be leaving something that I've never seen before. So
Like I
there's
said,
that.
they're not all like action movies. Some of them, like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, amazing.
Oh,
Gary
see,
Oldman.
that
Nice
one I've seen.
quiet
That's a great
burn.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Or
yeah.
if you're not into that, go to the silly ones. Go to the James Bonds. Watch what you know. Of avoid shit like Red Sparrow because it's terrible.
All of the James
I
Bonds
don't
are
want to talk about
not
that.
silly, and
You
we
could
don't talk about Red Sparrow. That was
you could
oof.
go really silly, which is another James Bond Jr. type movie. I have a thing for like teen spy movies that are very silly, like
But
Agent
then you
Cody
didn't like
Banks with Frankie
Debs.
Muniz.
I said Debs. Oh yeah.
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 Well, Eric, you can add those in the comments too. You can just write them down for our listeners because
Oh my gosh.
I'm moving on.
You
Maybe
know
I
what
No
he
more
will.
could
movie.
do? He could do it under his alias.
And
Alias
then and
Eric.
then and then like thrash us for not have mentioning
Uh-huh.
those whatever. So guys, obviously we're still
I'm
doing this
I'm just gonna jump in the
concentrated
comments
thing.
and be like, "What do you mean you didn't get Zero Dark 30?"
As you can see, we're still doing this concentrated thing where we do not stay very focused or concentrated on anything, clearly. But we are doing some other shows that you might be interested in. So if you're into MMA, you're definitely in luck. You can check out our
Throw them
other show,
bows.
Throwing Bows, where we just talk about MMA. If you are looking for three people of color, three BIPOCs, POCs, whatever you want to call them, if you want to hear them talking about some British shit, and right now that is Gangs of London. You guys are coming up. I
Gang
think
gang.
you guys
We
are
got
almost
we got
done,
two more
right?
episodes.
Yeah.
Ooh, so y'all have gotten to the gritty.
Yeah.
The
Oof.
nitty gritty.
Yeah, so definitely you can check out our playlist. Cup and Saucer covers right now Gangs of London. They've done Bridgerton. I know they've got some other things down the road that they'll be working on, so you can watch those. And then lastly,
next.
stop it! I'm
We
trying to give
don't?
you credit.
All
Oh,
right.
well,
All right,
it's
they'll
probably
figure
going
it
to be
out.
something more lighthearted because we
Yes.
went from classical drama to straight up violence. So maybe we'll try to find something a little more fun, family
Watch
oriented,
something a little cheeky.
or
Yes,
comedic. Yeah,
cheeky. That's what we're looking for. Some
Yeah.
cheeky.
There it is. Some cheeky.
we'll see.
And then obviously, if you would love the MCU the way we love the MCU, you want to check out our Heralds of the MCU show, where we right now are talking WandaVision, and it is getting
Yeah, so you definitely
insane.
want to get in on that shit because
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, you
We
need
got
to-
2 episodes left of that, and we.
It's going to be a lot. So definitely check that out. And then also, if you want to send any questions, comments, feedback, anything else, you can do that to our email address. That is concentratedpodcast@gmail.com. You can also connect with us on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Concentrated Podcast. And you can also follow us on Instagram for just weekly updates, drops, continuing the conversation. Our handle on Instagram is @ConcentratedPod. And then lastly, super lastly, you can always give us a call and leave a voicemail giving us your thoughts about the show. The phone number is 301 531 4393. Again, that's 301 531 4393. So, guys, thank you so much for watching and listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Bye.